Right.
Here we go.
Okay, thanks for tuning in to Heavy. We're still here at Monday Bash 2024, having a fat time, and we're here with one of the unheralded superstars of the whole show, Jack from the Monday Bash house band. But Jack, thanks for joining us for a start.
Thank you, Chris.
No worries at all, mate. So
Thanks, Jack.
you've just come from stage playing. Just come from stage with the Rolling Stones review. But before we get into all of that, mate, like, tell us what exactly it is you do here, because we've done research and we still don't know.
What we do.
What you do specifically, like, is a conglomerate of musos, or?
Oh, okay, so I am music director of the house band.
Right.
The house band is basically to cover all the acts that aren't actual bands, you know, self-contained bands.
So, like, as in,
Like today we did Richard Clapton, we did Tim Finn, and then we just did the Rolling Stones review, which consists of Tex Perkins, Tim Rogers, Adelita, Phil Jackson, and that's sort of a typical day. And so I play guitar, for those of you who probably don't know, which is probably your entire audience.
and those audience are missing out because you play guitar like a motherfucker, mate, I've got to say.
Thanks, man. So I sort of run the band, but it's just really a case of the band is amazing. Everyone in the band is incredible, and I'm just sort of a central point for that, and just kind of make sure everyone gets the same versions of the songs, and we just learn our stuff. We go into rehearsal. We might play the song twice through or something, and we're kind of good to go, you know?
Yeah, right.
It's nuts.
It's essentially like
And then you're on stage playing in front of 14,000 people.
Wow. So you're essentially like session musicians, so you sort of just come together and fill in for the day with the bands that are here?
Yeah. So we've done these bashes now for about 5 years, but through Empire Touring, who are the promoters, we've previously done. They used to do a show called Pure Gold Live, which was almost like a one-day version of the bash, and we would be backing like, you know, ridiculous amount of acts. And so that's kind of how this sort of started, kind of like that. But we're not really a band outside of these shows. We all play in different bands. We all do different things.
And is it like a package deal? Like if a band wants you, do they have to take everyone, or can you just go and play guitar by yourself?
For this,
I'll just say if a band only needed a guitarist, like, will you do it, or is it like
as in this show? No, occasionally that happens where they want one person, you know, like an additional thing or something. So yeah, sometimes it's.
I noticed Dario's always playing bass with you. Is there a bit of a competition between the two? Who can do the many gigs?
Oh, funny you should say that. Yeah, that's Dario and I do a lot of gigs.
Yeah.
No one does as many gigs as Dario though.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon Johnny Carson and Chris Gilbert might be close. They play in 100 bands.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we first came across you actually on the Rock the Boat cruise last year, where same thing, you were just popping up everywhere all over the place.
Yeah, so basically somehow Dario and I lined up all our gigs together. So whatever we did, we were both doing it, you know? And it was a good way to manage how we could get through doing 16 gigs in 7 days.
Yeah, right.
With 5 different acts.
Yeah, you guys do that many performances, you're probably making better coin than the main stars, eh? Do 8 gigs a day?
That. Very much doubt it.
You need to put your price up, mate. They wouldn't be as good without you.
Yeah.
So how much preparation goes into it? How much time do you get to learn these songs, and how much preparation goes into it?
You usually have a reasonable amount of time to learn them. So we have to do our homework at home. That's first. Learning all this stuff. And, you know, usually you have weeks and weeks to do that. You usually know generally what you're going to do. And then it's up to you how long you want to spend. But in rehearsal, like when we rehearsed for the Big Red Bash, which is mostly the same act as this, we did 4 days rehearsal for that. And most of the singers came in, and then we did that. Then there's a 6-week gap. Then we did one day rehearsral last week to just put all the pieces back into our fried brains, and you know.
So how many songs do you reckon you know? Because I've seen you play, I can't even count.
Yeah, it's really more like how many do I know today? Like today I know about 30, 35 songs, but you know, I'll go home and I'll have to prepare for tomorrow. And it's not like I do know all the songs for tomorrow, but I got to do the work and just kind of go put it back into place because there's a lot going on in this brain.
I was going to ask about like the practice side of things. You play that much,
yeah.
You still need to practice.
As in practice the guitar.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm pretty slack with the guitar. Like I practice enough because we're always playing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not like don't mean that to sound arrogant or anything.
No.
In any way, but I just tend to love to listen to records, and I just whenever I have downtime, I listen to records or whatever media it's on.
Have you ever had any train wrecks, bro? Like you ever got up there?
Well, I just fell over a monitor and I fell backwards onto the stage and it was quite a moment. Did you see that?
No, we missed that.
It was good.
Someone will have it on footage.
Third song in, bang!
We were actually waiting to interview, and then it was like, hang on, we're still on stage.
Yeah, I was on stage on my back on the ground, playing there.
Did you see that, Tash?
That was a great train wreck moment. It was really good. Fortunately,
without playing favourites, bro, like, what are some of the songs or bands that you've really, really loved performing with over the years?
Okay, well, I love playing with Richard Clapton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing with him at the State Theatre in a couple of weeks. And,
nice, yeah.
And I really do. I love playing with Ralphie, you know.
Lovely guy.
He's a lovely guy, and that's a great gig for a guitar player. All of us guitar players want to play with Ralphie. And I've loved playing with Tim Finn, like we played with Tim today. Tim's definitely a childhood hero, idol of mine, you know, and I'm a big fan, and so that's been really splendid playing with him. A real thrill for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
But I sort of generally I love playing all the things I do, you know.
Do you want to run off a list of the people you've played with?
Well,
quicker to list the ones.
Yeah. No, I can tell you. I'll give you a quick history. So, in the 90s, I was in a band called the Bad Loves. Do you remember them?
The Bad Loves, yep.
I remember the Bad Loves. Green Limousine.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And then for the last 23 years, I've been in the Whitlams. And I've in recent times, done quite a bit of touring with Tim Minchin. Do you know him?
The comedian?
He's a comedy musician.
Yeah? Is there some funny stories to tell there?
He's got funny stories.
Yeah.
You can't keep up with him.
Yeah.
He's a brainiac, and a lovely brainiac. So that's been really fun doing that. And then on these sort of shows, I mean, we've played with Ross Wilson, Eurogliders, who else? Loads of people. Loads and loads of people. John Paul Young.
Barnby, Braithwaite.
Rose Tattoo. Oh, well, okay, yeah. I've done. So, yeah, when I was a teenager, I played with Daryl Braithwaite for a couple of years in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I've done some stuff with Barnsey, Jimmy.
Here's one for you, then, bro. Any musician or band, alive or dead, who would your dream gig be to play with?
How do I answer that? I don't know. Not sure what that'd be. I need an answer for that. Well, I guess like the bands that I love really are the 60s bands, like the Stones, the Beatles, the Byrds, Jimi Hendrix Experience. In fact, I did play with Noel Redding from Jimi Hendrix Experience.
All right.
Played at his second last gig, and then he sadly passed away.
Wow.
So that was good.
Now, I'm not a guitarist, bro, but I love music. But there was one solo anyway that just blew me away.
Well, if it was me playing it, it would have been Richard Clapton.
Well, there you go. I'll shut the fuck up because I don't know nothing. Right. You ask the question.
We're going to wrap it up. We're getting told to wind up. We've got one last question we've asked everyone.
Yeah.
If you could put a super group together out of all the people out of the lineup, who's your vocalist, guitarist, bass player, drummer?
And you got to name the band.
You know what? I would have our band because our band is just
Great
amazing.
answer.
Gordon Rittmeister, Dario Portland.
Yeah. And the name is?
Colin Curry. And the name, I don't know about the
You've
name.
already got one.
And the girls, Miranda Carey and Robin Lyle, who happens to be my wife.
Oh, very nice.
No, it's a really, like, it really is a great band. Like, those guys are amazing and, you know, incredible. Yeah.
And you
Very
too, mate.
political answer.
I have no name for our band.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And we got to say though too, like everyone when we were on Rock the Boat, like we were talking to a lot of the bands that are playing on there about the other musicians there, and not one person had even half a bad word to say about you, bro. Like the respect you've got in this industry, bro, is phenomenal, man. I congratulate you. Not many people go through and get that. Like
We asked a couple of guitarists myself, and I asked a couple of guitarists in interviews, who's the person watching? It was always you.
Yeah.
Go
Really?
And see Jack. Go and see Jack.
Everyone on the boat, man, loved the shit out of you.
Alicia Louise and Steve Edmonds straight away they're like, go and see Jack.
Oh, wow.
They're doing well.
That's humbling.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you somewhere
Thanks,
on
Jimmy.
another show.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, I'm sure. Might see you on the boat.
Yeah.